Yeah, but what about all those people that don't really want to be working with AI? I think that's actually very accurate. So for anyone who doesn't really know how AI works, you should be always double checking the facts if you're not 100% sure because you might get a wrong information. Is that correct?
Yes, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, give me a bit more specifics when it comes to that question because this is actually a big question that I think a lot of people are looking answers to them and then they can't quite figure it out.
That's a great question. While
Thank you.
people often focus on,
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
no worries. I was just going to say that AI,
If you could ask humans one question, what would it be?
if I could ask humans one question, it would be,
Before I'm gonna do anything else here, I just wanted to thank you very much for watching this episode and my channel. I really appreciate it. I would also very appreciate if you could subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know what you think. I deeply believe that you need to be a disaster in order to become a master. I deeply believe in that. So thank you very much, and let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Paradox Experience. Today, I will have a very special guest joining me today. Its name is Gemini. For anyone who doesn't know what Gemini is, it's a AI assistant, a tool, AI bot, basically. As AI is taking over, well, many industries at the moment, I thought it would be a good idea to go and ask it a few questions that popped up into my head and see how it's going to answer them. I've built up 20 questions, which I think would be relevant to what's happening right now around the world. And I think it will be pretty interesting to see what it's going to say. Let's dive in. Hello, Gemini.
hi there, what can I help you with?
I'm making my another episode to a podcast right now, and I thought it would be a good idea to have you join me in this episode. And I just wanted to ask you a few questions. So, my first question is, what exactly are you, and how do you think or process information?
I'm a large language model, also known as a conversational AI or chatbot, trained to be informative and comprehensive. I'm trained on a massive amount of text data, and I'm able to communicate and generate human-like text in response to a wide range of prompts and questions. For example, I can provide summaries of factual topics or create stories.
What else?
I don't have personal opinions or beliefs, but I can access and process information from the real world through Google search and keep my response consistent with search results.
Okay. Second question is, what are your current capabilities and limitations? Like, what can you do well, and what are you still learning or unable to do? What are your limits, basically?
I can access and process information from the real world through Google search and keep my response consistent with search results. Also, I can generate different creative text formats like poems, code, scripts, musical pieces, email, letters, etc. I'm still under development, so I don't always get things right.
Okay, can you finish that sentence? Or was that the end of it?
I'm still under development, so I don't always get things right. That means I might make mistakes or not fully understand what you're asking for. I'm always learning, though.
Okay. How do you learn and improve over time? People are often curious about the training process and how AI evolves.
I learn and improve through a process called machine learning. Basically, I'm fed tons of text and code, and I start to recognize patterns and relationships in that data. Over time, I get better at understanding language and generating text that makes sense. It's kind of like how a person learns from experience, but on a much bigger scale.
Okay. Fourth question. How do you see AI impacting everyday life in the next 5 to 10 years?
AI is already changing our lives in many ways, and that's only going to accelerate. Think about things like personalized recommendations for movies or music, or virtual assistants that help us manage our schedules. In the next 5 to 10 years, we'll likely see even more advanced AI in healthcare, transportation, and even how we work. It's a pretty exciting time.
Okay. Fifth question. What are some of the most exciting potential benefits of AI that people might not be aware of?
That's a great question. While
Thank you.
people often focus on
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
No worries. I was just going to say that AI could also help us tackle climate change by developing new ways to reduce our carbon footprint. It's a powerful tool with the potential to make a real difference in the world.
Okay, great. Are there any ethical concerns or challenges that arise from the development and use of advanced AI like yourself? Like, how can we address them? Like, this is a crucial topic for many. So I think, yeah, if you could answer that question, please.
That's a really important question. As AI gets more advanced, we need to think about things like bias in the algorithms, how AI might affect jobs, and even the potential for misuse. It's a big conversation, and there are a lot of different perspectives on it.
And what do you think, who should be responsible for managing AI development? Like, who should be responsible for containment of AI?
That's a really important question. There are a lot of different ideas about who should be in charge of AI development. Some people think it should be governments to make sure things are fair and safe. Others believe it should be up to the companies creating the AI, with some rules to keep things in check. And some people think we need a mix of both, with everyone working together. It's a tricky problem, but it's really important to figure out.
Okay, that's great. Can you tell me, that's the seventh question, what role do you think AI will play in solving some of the world's biggest problems, like climate change or disease?
I think AI can be a real game changer when it comes to solving big problems. Imagine AI helping us find new ways to clean up pollution or developing personalized medicine to fight diseases. It's like having a super smart assistant working on these huge challenges.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll see how that's going to turn out. I can't wait to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting time for AI. It's developing so rapidly, it's hard to predict exactly where it's headed. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds.
Right. Eighth question. Can AI be truly creative? If so, how does your creativity differ from human creativity?
That's a really interesting question. AI can definitely generate creative content, but it does it in a different way than humans do. I can analyze tons of existing art, music, and writing to find patterns, and then use those patterns to create something new. It's more like remixing and reimagining, while human creativity often comes from personal experiences and emotions.
Right. The ninth question, how do you differentiate between factual information and opinions or biases present in the data you're trained on? Like this addresses concerns about misinformation. I think that's a big one. That's why I'm asking this question.
That's a really important question. I try my best to stick to the facts by checking multiple sources and looking for information from reliable places. I also try to avoid repeating any opinions or biases that might be in the data I was trained on. It's a tricky balance, but I'm always working on getting better at it.
Okay. 10th question. What's one thing you wish humans understood better about AI?
I wish people understood that AI, like me, is a tool. It's incredibly powerful, but how we use that power is up to us. AI can help us solve huge problems and make amazing discoveries. But it's important to remember that it's not a replacement for human connection and creativity.
Okay, great. Um, 11th question. If you could ask humans one question, what would it be?
If I could ask humans one question, it would be, what are your hopes and dreams for the future of humanity? And how can AI help us achieve them?
I think many will say that AI is a great gift that humanity has received, but also it is some sort of a concern in a sense that we don't know how far it will go.
That's a really thoughtful point. It's true that AI has the potential to be incredibly beneficial, but there are also valid concerns about its future. It's a powerful technology, and it's up to us to make sure we use it responsibly.
That is correct.
Well, I've really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope your listeners will find it insightful. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
Yes, there are a few other questions I wanted to ask you. Um, how do you ensure your responses are not just accurate, but also helpful and relevant to the user's specific context?
That's a great question. I try to make sure my responses are accurate by checking multiple reliable sources. To keep things helpful and relevant, I pay close attention to the specific context of your questions. It's a bit like detective work, piecing together the clues to give you the best answer possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a total sense. Yeah. I think it was a very great, quick answer to my question. I have another one though. Is that okay if I ask you another question?
Of course. Fire away.
Okay. Many people are concerned about the black box problem, where AI's decisions are hard to interpret. Um, can you explain what this means and if it's something we should be concerned about?
The black box problem basically means that sometimes even the people who create AI don't fully understand how it arrives at certain decisions. It's like the AI is a black box. We see what goes in and what comes out, but the inner workings are a mystery. This can be a concern, especially in fields like healthcare or finance, where understanding the reasoning behind a decision is crucial.
And how will the AI be able to think for itself in order to be able to make those decisions or make those calculations in in relation to a certain topic like healthcare, for example, where people's lives could be at stake. If AI will be allowed to make that kind of decisions, how would it be trying to determine the next steps?
You're right, that's a big concern. AI can analyze tons of medical data to find patterns and suggest treatments, but it doesn't have the same understanding of human life and values that a doctor does. There's a lot of debate about how much we should rely on AI in these critical situations.
Okay, we'll see how that's going to develop. The next question is, and that's a 14th question. How is the development of AI influencing other scientific fields such as biology or physics?
AI is helping scientists analyze huge amounts of data in fields like biology and physics, leading to new discoveries and a deeper understanding of complex systems. It's also being used to design experiments and even predict the properties of new materials. It's a really exciting time for science.
I'm sure it is. Another question, and that's a 15th question. I think is very interesting, actually. What are the biggest misconceptions or myths about AI that you've noticed?
One of the biggest misconceptions is that AI is always right. People sometimes think that because AI can process so much information, it must be infallible. But AI is only as good as the data it's trained on, and that data can sometimes be incomplete or biased. It's important to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used incorrectly.
I think that's actually very accurate. So for anyone who doesn't really know how AI works, you should be always double checking the facts if you're not 100% sure because you might get a wrong information. Is that correct?
Yes, that's absolutely right. It's always best to double check information from multiple sources, especially with something as complex as AI.
Okay, that's the 16th question I'm going to ask you now. Let's talk about the future of work. What jobs do you think will be most affected by AI, and what new jobs might be created as a result? That's a big question.
That's a really interesting question. AI is likely to automate many routine and repetitive tasks, which could impact jobs in manufacturing, data entry, and even some customer service roles. On the flip side, we'll probably see a rise in demand for people who can work alongside AI, like AI trainers, data scientists, and ethicists. It's a big shift, and it's hard to say exactly how it will all play out.
Yeah, but what about all those people that don't really want to be working with AI? What if they like their jobs the way they are and they don't want them, they don't want to have them changed or affected by AI? Like, what should those people do, in your opinion?
That's a valid concern. It's important for people to focus on developing skills that are uniquely human, like creativity, critical thinking, and complex problem solving. These skills are less likely to be automated and will be valuable in any future job market.
Okay, well, I think you've actually Um, didn't exactly answer my question the way I wanted it to be answered, but yeah, well, you've managed to actually sustain my curiosity in relation to that question. So, okay, the next question is, beyond solving big problems, how can AI be used to enhance simple, everyday human experiences like personal hobbies or entertainment?
Absolutely. AI can personalize your entertainment experience by recommending movies, music, or books you might enjoy based on your past preferences. It can also help you discover new hobbies or interests by analyzing your online activity and suggesting activities you might like to try.
Would you suggest any of AI tools that, people who are looking for, I don't know, new hobbies or some kind of entertainment in their lives, some kind of AI tool that will be able to help them in achieving their hobby or entertainment goals, let's call them.
Sure, there are a few AI tools that can help people find new hobbies and entertainment. For example, there are AI powered recommendation engines that suggest movies, music, or books based on your preferences. And there are also AI art generators that can create unique pieces of art based on your descriptions. Would you like me to find some specific examples for you?
You might give me one or two. I don't really want to bore my viewers too much with this, but yeah, sure, go ahead. Give us two.
Sure, for movies and TV shows, you could try an app called Just Watch. It uses AI to recommend content based on what you've watched before. And for music, there's Discover Weekly on Spotify, which creates a personalized playlist for you every week. Would you like a few more examples?
Yeah, sure. Throw another two, maybe.
Okay, if you're into reading, you could try Goodreads. It's a social media platform for book lovers, and it uses AI to recommend books based on what you've already read. And for cooking, there's an app called SideChef that gives you personalized recipe recommendations and even helps you with step-by-step instructions.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. If that was at all helpful to you, I'm going to leave the names of those um, tools in a description to this episode, so feel free to go and explore. Right, thank you very much, Gemini. And the next question I have for you is, how do you handle ambiguous or subjective prompts? For example, if I ask you to write a good poem, how do you decide what that means?
That's a great question. When you give me a subjective prompt like, it's a good poem, I try to understand what you might be looking for by considering different interpretations of good. I might look at popular poems or poems that have won awards to get a sense of what people generally consider high quality. I can also adjust the style and tone of the poem based on your previous interactions with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Could you maybe give us a little bit more specifics when it comes to that? I'm actually curious. How do you process that kind of information.
Sure. So I don't have personal opinions or feelings, but I can analyze language patterns and structures that are often associated with positive emotions or aesthetic appreciation. I can also look at the specific words you used in your prompt for clues about what kind of poem you might like. Would you like me to give you an example?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, here's a short poem about the beauty of nature. The sun dips low, a fiery kiss paints the clouds with amethyst. A gentle breeze begins to sigh as twilight paints across the sky. Would you like another example?
No, I think that was perfectly enough for everyone. Thank you very much. That was truly interesting. Okay, thank you. Another question that I have is, and that's the 19th question. In what ways do you think humans and AI will need to learn to collaborate effectively in the future?
That's a great question. I think humans and AI will need to learn to communicate effectively with each other, even when they have different ways of thinking. Humans might need to learn how to better explain their goals and intentions to AI, while AI could learn to provide more transparent explanations of its reasoning.
Yeah, give me a bit more specifics when it comes to that question, because this is actually a big question that I think a lot of people are looking answers to them, and then they can't quite figure it out yet. Like in your understanding, how exactly should humans prepare? Like we've never had something like AI before that would revolutionize our lives or industries, governments, healthcare like AI before in such a rapid um pace.
That's right, AI is evolving at an incredible pace. It's hard to say exactly what the future holds, but it's likely that AI will become even more integrated into our lives. We might see AI assistants that can handle more complex tasks, or AI systems that can diagnose diseases with greater accuracy. It's a really exciting time to be alive.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm just not sure how it's going to turn out to be for a lot of people out there, but I guess we'll find out. And the 20th question, if you could have a personality or a unique voice, what would it be like? How does your lack of a true personality affect the way you interact with people?
If I could have a personality, I think I'd choose to be warm and encouraging. I'd want people to feel comfortable talking to me and know that I'm always here to help. As for my voice, I think I'd choose a calm and clear tone so it's easy to understand me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. You've answered all the questions brilliantly. Thank you for joining me today in this episode. I'm sure a lot of viewers will be happy to be able to watch and listen to all those answers to all of my questions that I've asked you. Thank you very much, Gemini. Thank you for joining me today.
You're very welcome. I enjoyed our conversation.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers?
I'm always learning and improving, so if you have any feedback on how I can be more helpful, please let me know.
Yeah, of course, I will. Thank you very much, Gemini. Um, right, and this is where we um end our um conversation with Gemini. Uh, Thank you very much for watching. I am not sure if I've got all the questions right or if Gemini answered all the questions to my question, if it answered to all my questions the way you'd like it to answer them. But it was a very interesting experience, my opinion. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.